Westcourt Cairns is where we are. Let's talk about Westcourt. Why am I in front of a shopping centre? Because DFO Westcourt is probably the most prominent feature in the city of Westcourt. But look, why don't you like this video and click subscribe, and we'll talk more about Westcourt. Now we're just off Gatton Street at Sportsworld, which is a very popular club. It's got squash, a swimming pool, gym, a lot of recreational facilities. Very popular in the area. Sportsworld, it's worth becoming a member if you're into sport and fitness. And behind Sportsworld, we have the amazing Griffiths Park, which is one of the better cricket grounds in Cairns. So let's see if we can get a few shots of Griffiths Park in action. We've got two of the best cricket teams in Cairns here. The Yellows versus the Red and Blacks. I don't know who's going to win, but I tell you what, it's a great ground, Griffiths Park. And you can see that it's well maintained, looked after, also used for AFL. So Griffiths Park, a proud part of Westcourt. Now we're here at Cazalys, which is one of the two premier sporting facilities in the whole region. The Cazalys is in Westcourt, and the pitched area behind me is about the equivalent size of the MCG. AFL Cairns have done a wonderful job in building up their fortune in Cairns and investing back into the community. If you pan over, you can see their leagues club. Well, it's not a leagues club, is it? I don't know what the AFL mob call it, but I tell you what, I know a lot of locals who really cannot afford it pump a lot of money into their poker machines. So, you know, there's people in there from opening till the early hours of the morning putting their last, you know, their last coins into Cazalys poker machines. They bleed people dry. So, you know, that's what sort of lost me on Cazalys. But they do have a nice dinner at an affordable price, and they got a good bar as well. If you're into AFL, you'll probably come here, sink some beers and watch the local AFL. Good luck to you, but only in Westcourt. We're now outside the Cairns Bowls Club on Gatton Street in Westcourt. Now look, this is a wonderful licensed club. You might call me a hypocrite because they do have pokies here as well, but I'd say they're a bit older. Most of the membership of the Cairns West Bowls Club are locals and battlers and elderly folk. You know, people lived in Cairns for a long time. When I say a long time, probably over 50, 60 years. So that's the membership of the Cairns Bowls Club. So if you're going to have a beer and something to drink, come down to the West Cairns Bowl Clubs, mix with the locals down here, and they do have bowling as well. Go Cairns West Bowls. Now I am at another famous Cairns and Westcourt institution. It's known as Jones Park. So Jones Park is the home to the Junior Rugby League in Cairns. And I played here when I was a young fella, so it's been around for a very long time. Very popular with families from the local rugby league fraternity who come here so their kids can really enjoy the sport of rugby league. And I love Jones Park. I think it's a fantastic facility, and you can sit upstairs. It's never been burdened by being too financially successful. Nonetheless, it's a great facility and a great place to be the home of Junior Rugby League right here in Cairns and in Westcourt. Just opposite Jones Park on Man Street, on the other side of Man Street, is a residential facility known as Cairns 1. There's a lot of units, they've got some pools and whatnot. Not a big fan, I don't really favour gated communities. I think they do it for safety reasons or something, to try and lock people out. But the thing about locking criminals out, you lock just as many in. So I'm not too worried about Cairns 1. I live amongst the rest of the community here and fully engaged with the people of Westcourt. Okay, so we're now parked on Gatton Street again, which is one of the main streets in Westcourt. Gatton Street. Behind us is the DFO and retirement facilities. Now, some of the newest suburbs in Cairns are suburbs for the newlywed. Westcourt is a suburb for the nearly dead. There are retirement facilities everywhere here on Gatton Street, backing onto Line Street, a very old cohort. A lot of people have lived in Cairns all their lives, so yeah, a lot of retirement facilities here in Westcourt. Now, as we say that, the old folks, I might sign off with Westcourt because the next step, which is a cemetery, is located in the next door suburb, and we'll talk about that next week when we talk about Menunda.